as you all know. The score is currently tied at 4-4. The games are getting incredibly complex. And I'm sure fans are at the edges of their seats and seconds are having heart attacks. And I'm losing hair from my head watching these games. I have a question for the players. I'll start with the world champion. You have had some incredible games, and very few people in history can speak to the pressure cooker that players are under when they're playing in a world championship match. How does today's game reflect the growing intensity that this match is providing and the kind of maybe internal pressure you're feeling as your opponent and you are playing games that are just absolutely mind-bending?
Well, at the last World Championship match, there are a lot of ups and downs. There are not so many perfect games. And in last World Championship, only also one game there, he's winning at some point, and then suddenly I'm winning at the end. So, but today during the game, I didn't realize I was winning at some point. Yeah, I think he missed some important details. Let me get back to the game. Before that, he would totally outplay me again. And actually, I didn't feel so much nervous during the game. I just feel uncomfortable out of the opening.
Before we get to actual moves, I'd like to ask the challenger, how is it that you're turning down draws in positions where, again, your seconds must be thinking, why doesn't he just take the draw and leave? And you're just continuing to play positions that look like potentially you would risk losing?
Yeah, actually, this position where I didn't repeat, I didn't think I was in much danger. So, I mean, I always thought with this weak king and my strong pawn on b3, I should have played. I thought maybe even I might have some chances, but okay. Yeah, it was just a misjudgment of the position.
If we can get to just a few moves, we could analyze this for hours. Obviously, the game was so fascinating. But at one point, the move f6 seemed to give you pause. Was it a surprise to you?
I want to play something like b4 to create space on the queen side. Maybe already mistake. I don't know. Like this. And d5 maybe queen c2. To gain some space on the queen side, but in the end I decided to play nature move castle.
You played this move f6. Many people in the VIP room, including one of your mentors, Anand, said he was quite shocked by this move and surprised, wondering if it had ever happened before. Is it something that you had, well, it looks like something you had deeply prepared. Can you tell us anything about this move?
Yeah, I mean, it was part of my preparation, and I would like to also mention, my team. They have been doing a great job, not only Gayu, but my other team members as well, and we managed to surprise him in the opening. So we're doing a great job. I would like to thank my team so far, and hopefully more such interesting ideas will come.
I'll continue on that vein. Later in the game, it seemed they had a fantastic position. You even took a pawn on a2, which seemed like maybe even a winning move, but just a second later, you chose to play your knight on d7 to c5 instead of, your knight from a6 to c5 instead of the knight from d7 to c5, which looked like a very powerful move. Did you consider that move, and what was the minus in your mind? Why you didn't play it?
Yeah, actually, this knight d5 move just looked weird to me. So I was mainly considering knight c5, and I thought what I did in the game must be winning. But clearly he has, I guess with the knight on d7, he always has some tricks with bishop h3, and I need to watch out for the unpleasant pin. Yeah, I just didn't realize knight d5 was that strong. I mean, it was also based on the fact that I missed queen e1. Instead of in the next move, knight c5, rook c1. I mean, I thought queen d2, b4 is just winning for me, but I just missed queen e1.
Queen e1.
Yeah.
Was it because of knight takes?
Knight d3, queen c3, yeah. And it was actually very impressive that my opponent found this queen e1 so quickly. So yeah, great defense by him.
Did you spot this knight dc5 in this position as a serious move? Because once he played knight, the other knight, you seem to just be on autopilot, playing all your moves pretty instantly. Very strong moves at that. But had you noticed this other idea of playing this knight to this square, which would have...
Just when I was calculating knight dc5, he played knight ac5.
I go rook c1. Queen c2. The same position with the knight on c5.
Yeah, it looks like your pawns are moving. Even if you lost this piece, these pawns...
Not so sure, actually.
It looks like a very strong pin along these lines, and which it is, but it's hard for white to exploit anything here.
Yeah, just a very tricky position.
Then the game turned quite dramatically, and suddenly you were winning an exchange. Did you feel that now, when you were winning the exchange, you had some winning chances, or it looked like it was always going to be on balance?
Did I miss some win here? Knight e1, but if you just go bishop f7.
Yeah, it's bishop f4, tricky and strange move. Sort of weird computer moves that seem to apply pressure.
Oh, take and go back. Finally grab the piece. Oh. I thought here he can play b4.
Yeah, but bishop f4.
Oh.
d5.
Bishop e3 is coming after rook c8. So did you have the feeling you might be winning and you missed something, or did you feel like you were just moving and going with the flow? Chilling, if you will.
I'm just trying to develop my pieces and to see what happens.
Did you feel like you were busted? Like when suddenly the game completely turned around and you were defending, you had to start finding some only moves almost. Did you feel like you were in trouble, or that the game was still within bounds?
I mean, I kind of felt that I lost control, but I never thought I was losing, because I mean, it's just a very concrete position. You either see the trick or not, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I saw this position which happened in the game with knight c6, take, bishop c5, and I thought, okay, probably all my advantage is gone, but I mean, in the next few moves. Yeah, I probably thought all my advantage is gone, but I did not think it was even bad for me. Yeah, probably after. Yeah, now that I see the position, it's quite obvious, but during the game it was not.
Someone, I think it was my client, asked, well, you're a half full kind of guy, glass half full,
Yeah.
optimistic. Was this another case of your optimism, or are you generally just fearless? Because a lot of players would have just taken a draw, especially later on here. It just seemed to make sense to just repeat. And you decided, maybe I'll have a chance to win, and you still kept playing.
Yeah, as I said, I didn't think it was like I was in a lot of danger. So I mean, obviously, if I knew the position was bad, I would have taken the draw. Right?
All right. Well, those are my questions. May I invite the press to come and ask their questions. Please line up at the microphone. Restrict your questions to just one at a time, please. We may have a chance to recycle.
Abhidaya from Chess Base India. My question is to Gukesh. Did you think you were better after you played b5?
Yeah, I thought I was much better, probably close to winning. Since my opponent also played rook b1, b5 just looked like a very, very strong move. And probably I was better, but yes, soon he found this bishop b2, bishop d4, and the position got very tricky. I had to be very precise, which I did not.
Just a little follow-up, like what were your thoughts when he played bishop to d4? Did you think which knight to put on, like c5?
Yeah, I thought knight c5. I mean, I was mainly thinking knight a c5, which I played in the game, but basically I missed his queen e1 resource. So I thought what I played was winning, but yeah, I missed queen e1. If I had seen queen e1, maybe I would have spent more time on knight dc5. But I still I'm not very sure. I think the position still has some tricks, but yeah, probably knight c5. The knight dc5 was better.
Yes, just last question off the chess. Today, the World Rapid and Blitz 2024, the players list came out. We did see Gukesh in there. Question to both the players. Gukesh, I think you'll be playing that, and also Ding, are you considering playing in New York?
I don't know. I didn't think much about it, but probably after the match I'll think.
Will you be playing in New York?
No. Thank you.
Mike Klein with chess.com. Just want to thank the players for the last 48 hours of chess. It's been great on our end. My question is for the world champion, Ding Lijian. When you gave away the A-pawn pretty much right away, you got a lot of praise on the chess.com commentary from Daniel Naroditsky and Peter Lecko that you gave yourself the best practical chance. So I'm curious if you thought giving away the A-pawn was objectively the best move, or if you thought it was just the hardest path for Gukesh to prove an advantage.
Well, it's based on miscalculation. I mean, he can cover the queen with knight c5, both knight. I only thought queen c6, and I have rook a1. Knight b4, queen d2, something like this. I have great compensation. I thought he cannot take the pawn, then I think it's the best way to activate my pieces.
Okay, thanks for that.
வாசுதேவன் தரன்சியா மற்றும் ட்ரினிட்டி மிரர் திரு குகேஷ் அவர்களுக்கு இந்த கேள்வி. முதல்ல என்னுடைய பாராட்டுகள் என்னென்னா, முதலேருந்து கடைசி வரைக்கும் ஒரு த்ரில்லை விடாமல் மெயின்டைன் பண்ணுறீங்க. ஒரு ஹிச்காக் படம் மாதிரி எல்லாரையும் ஒரு டோஸில் வச்சிட்ருக்கீங்க. அதுக்கு பாராட்டுகள். அதே சமயத்தில் அதில் இருக்கிற டேஞ்சர், அது ஒரு பாயிண்டில் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா உங்களோட 41வது மூவ் குவீன் G2 அப்படி சொன்னால் அது 3-fold ரெப்படிஷன் வர வாய்ப்பு இருந்தது. ஈவன் மௌரி ஷாஸ்லி சார் கூட கொஞ்சம் வெளியே ஓடி வந்துட்டார், ஏன்னா முடிய போகுது, நம்ம ஒர்க்கை ஆரம்பிக்கணும்னு. ஆனால் நீங்கள் கொஞ்சம் நேரம் யோசிச்சுட்டு குவீன் A2ன்னு வச்சுட்டீங்க. அதை பற்றி சில வார்த்தைகள் சொல்ல முடியுமா?
அந்த பொசிஷனில் நான் அட்லீஸ்ட் ஆல்மோஸ்ட் என்னோட அட்வான்டேஜ் போயிடுச்சுன்னு எனக்கு தெரிஞ்சது. பட் அந்த பொசிஷன் எனக்கு லூசிங்காக இருக்கும்னு நான் நினைக்கல. மேபி ஏன்னா ஸ்டார்ட்லேருந்தே ப்ரெஸ் பண்ணிட்டு இருந்ததுனால மேபி அது லூசிங்காக இருக்க வாய்ப்பு இல்லைன்னு நினச்சேன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். பட் அந்த பொசிஷன் குவீன் G2 அப்ஜெக்டிவ்லி பெஸ்ட் நோ, பட் குவீன் A2, ருக் C2, குவீன் E6, எனக்கு இப்போ B3 வருது. ஓப்பனண்ட்டோட கிங் கொஞ்சம் வீக்காக இருக்குன்னு பார்த்தேன். ஸோ எதுவும் அட்வான்டேஜ் இல்லைனாலும் கொஞ்ச நேரம் ப்ரெஸ் பண்ணலான்னு நினச்சேன். ஐ மீன் ஒபியஸ்லி மைனஸ்ன்னு தெரிஞ்சிருந்தா நான் ட்ரா எடுத்திருப்பேன்.
The question was, I had mentioned about when Queen G2 was objectively best, and even I found that Maurice Ashley was running towards the conference room, getting ready, and then suddenly the challenger thought for some more time and made Queen A2. So, as you had earlier said that he is fearless, I was just about checking on that. அதே மாதிரி அப்ஜெக்டிவாக பார்க்கும்போது குயின் G2 வந்து நமக்கு நல்ல மூவ் அப்படின்னா அதை விட்டுட்டு வச்சுருந்தோம்னா ஒரு -1ன்ற போகக்கூடிய சான்சஸும் இருந்தது இல்லையா? அதை யோசிச்சிங்களா கொஞ்சம்?
எனக்கு -1 மாதிரி இருக்கும்னு எனக்கு தோணலை ஆக்சுவலாக. பட் ஓகே.
இல்லை, அந்த ரிஸ்க்கு தேவையில்லை அப்படின்னு தோணிச்சா உங்களுக்கு?
அந்த மோமெண்ட்டில் அந்த ரிஸ்க் எனக்கு ஓகேன்னு தான் தோணுச்சு.
ஆனால் அதே நேரத்தில் அந்த ஃபேன் ஜோனில் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா நீங்கள் குயின் A2 வச்சோன்னே ஒரு பெரிய கிளாப் இருந்தது. அதாவது அவர் ட்ராவை விட்டுட்டு விளையாடுறாரு, ஜெயிக்க விளையாடுறாரு சொல்லிட்டு. ஸோ what I had mentioned is that in the fan zone when he played finally Queen A2, there was a huge round of applause that he sidestepped the draw and went on to play for a win. Thank you.
Yes, I was actually all the way here when you finally played Queen A2, and I had to go back all the way. So that did surprise me as well. May I ask, there's a lot of obvious interest in this game. May I ask the press that you just restrict yourself to one go-around because there's such a long line and the players are going to need to have dinner and get some rest because tomorrow is yet another game. Thanks.
Shali is asking on behalf of FIDE social media followers for both of you. Gukesh, we've seen you here with your dad. Ding, you have quite a few family members. So my question is, how is your family supporting you in this journey?
Yeah, as usual, I'm here with my dad and Gayo. Yeah, my dad pretty much takes care of everything other than chess so that I can focus fully on my job, and my mom is also supporting me in her own way back from home. Yeah, all my family, friends, my team, they're doing a great job, and I'm really thankful to them. Yeah.
Mother accompany me as usual, and she wake me up, and she sometimes provide food for me. So she's doing her job.
Hello, I'm Katarina from the German Chess Federation, and my question is to Ding. With the time management, we've seen kind of the same pattern as yesterday. When you were really low on time, you managed to play really good moves. When you look at your games, do you want to change anything with your time management, or were you happy during the game when you were so low on time? Yeah.
It's hard to say if I can play the quality as in the time trouble. I prefer to stay in low on time.
Hello, I'm Nemo on behalf of the Singaporean Chess Federation, and this question will be for both, but I'm going to ask Ding Liren first. So, 这个问题是给你们两位，但我先用中文问一下丁立人。要是你必须跟 gukesh 一起去一个，你会选哪一个和为什么？冒险水上公园、环球影城、海洋馆。And please feel free to answer in English or Mandarin. Oh, sorry, I didn't ask in English, my bad. This question is for both of you, but if you absolutely had to visit one of the following with your opponent, which one would you choose and why? The Adventure Water Cove, Universal Studios, or the Aquarium?
没什么区别，都是那个，都是儿童乐园。
Ding says that there's not much of a difference, and all of them are for kids. So same question for Gukesh. If you had to choose one of the following, which one? Adventure Water Cove, Universal Studios, or the Aquarium? With Ding.
None.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe it should be an ice cream factory. So, Maria, Photo Chess Kick Channel, I'm revisiting my yesterday question because I think we need the help of Nemo, kindly agreed to translate. Lyrian, do you have a feeling that in the last two games, your calculation in time pressure improved and you intuitively make much better moves quicker than in the first few games? And if you have that feeling, do you think there is an explanation to that? Thank you. And you can reply in either English or Mandarin.
你觉得这两盘棋，第6盘和第7盘，你是不是时间上稍微好用一些？你的步子是不是来得快一些，比你前面的6盘棋？你可以用英文或者中文，谢谢。
对，第3盘在时间紧张的情况下，我有几个严重的漏算，让他的局面能够很好的发展。然后这盘棋可能我的局面比较好下吧，然后我就走了比较自然的走法，但也并不是最精确的，我可能走得更好，能有优势。然后还是会犯一些错误吧。
Ding says that in round 3, he feel like he struggled a little bit with the moves, but in the more recent games, he's felt like he's played a little bit smoother, but not certainly to perfection, and he's working on making the best moves.
Next question.
Matthew Griffin, The Saturday Paper, Australia. This question's to Gukesh. I'm just interested, I'm sure you must have really mentally prepared for the experience of, or the intensity of the World Championship. Now that we're more than halfway through, is there anything particularly that's been surprising in terms of the experience that, not the games themselves, but just the experience of playing under such an intense environment?
Yeah, obviously for the World Championship, one of the main things that I focused on was mental preparation, and since I'm working with Paddy, we discussed a lot about this, and we prepared as well as we could. I guess the difference is that, like, firstly, this is a one-on-one match, which it's not very usual in just such a long match, especially. And also, obviously, there's a lot more at stake in this tournament than any other tournament. So, I guess there are more nerves and more pressure. But other than that, it's still a interesting match against a lot of interesting games against a very strong opponent.
The question is for Gukesh. As somebody, till the age of 12, 13, you were completely raced without the engine. Just on that line, how has that helped you in the last 2.5 weeks? You don't need to go into specifics, but is there any move that you've just made just because of the training that you've had as a child?
I guess it's I don't really think it makes a difference, especially in this match or anything like that. But in general, my style has been shaped in a certain way because of the work that I did before I started using computers. And I don't know. Going into details, I guess, is too much. But yeah, I don't really see anything that has been especially for this match or anything.
Hello, Abhinav from US Chess. I think the entire chess world can say that this is a fantastic game, and more uniquely, one of the first where we've seen both of you demonstrate some incredible resilience upon being surprised. Ding upon reacting to f6, and Gukesh, you upon reacting to queen e1. Without getting into the moves, can you describe a little bit about what is your thought process to find resilience or inner strength in these moments that you didn't expect? Or to put it more bluntly, how do you react to surprises?
Well, we need to find the best move to, in the worst position to stay in the game. And yesterday I I run out of any ideas except f6 to have the threat rook d3. And today, queen e1 is the only way to create counter plays. Yeah, in worst position, we have to be patient and to wait for our chance.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, in this game it was a bit different because I did not think I was much worse. So, but yeah, in general, when you're worse, it's pretty much the same. You just try to make the best move and hold on for as long as possible, because generally the opponents make mistakes at some point. So yeah, I think that is the best way.
Thank you both.
I believe we have two more questions.
Hi, I'm Kyla, representing the local organizing committee. My question goes to both players, but I'll ask the world champion first. Now that we are more than halfway through the match, if you had to rate your own play so far, would you say that you're exceeding expectations, meeting expectations, or underperforming based on expectations? And if you could just elaborate on why you would say so.
It seems recently every time I play a match, no matter online or over the board, it's a very tense match, and even if I win with a very small margin, so it was on my expectation.
My play so far has been, I mean, the first game was shaky, but yeah, especially the last few games, I think my play has been quite good. Just a couple of moments where I missed my chances, but overall I think I'm playing really well the last few games, and but yeah, there's still room for improvement, hopefully in the next games.
Okay, thank you very much.
I am Ajit Kumar from The Hindu. My question is to Gukesh. Gukesh, you faced quite a lot of different openings from Ding so far in this match. Which are the other, have there been ones that surprised you a bit more than the others?
Not really. I mean, like when you're preparing for a world championship, you try to, be as thorough as possible. So, yeah, all the openings that we have played so far are good openings, and they are sound and solid openings. So, nothing came as a huge surprise, really. But yeah, there has been some really interesting stuff going on, and I'm glad about it.
And Ding, have you been surprised by any of Gukesh's choice of openings here?
Yes, considering the time I used in opening phrase, you can see fairly I'm surprised by the opening choice.
Thank you.
I have a very quick question for the players. As someone who has played in many tournaments myself, but never played for a world championship match or came close to, are you, both players, I'll start with you, Ding, are you having fun?
Today, just out of the opening, it's kind of turgid. But the first game was, I enjoyed most of the parts.
Yeah, I mean, Playing in the World Championship has been my childhood dream. So in that sense, yeah, I'm here where I always wanted to be. In that sense, I'm really happy and I'm enjoying the moment. But obviously, there is the games are very tense, and obviously there is pressure. So yeah, I guess a bit of both.
Thank you for your frank answers. That concludes the press conference. We have Game 9 tomorrow at the same time. It'll be the day before the rest day. Thanks, everyone, and have a great night.